Mr. Brown?
Yes, I will submit a copy of my statement. I just wanted to get it on the record today, and thank you so much. Hello, my name is Tom Brown, and I'm a native Washingtonian and a resident of Ward 7. I want to thank you, Councilmember Bowser, for convening this very, very important hearing. I think this is one of the most prevalent matters for the residents of the District of Columbia, and your willingness to convene this hearing shows exemplary leadership from you and the members of this committee. Earlier this week, I had the opportunity to testify at a hearing convened by Councilmember Berry on the employment and fair hiring opportunities for returning citizens, and the disparity and prejudgment that is given to our returning citizens and our elected officials who find themselves in compromising situations is so vast that I felt it deserved noting. I'd like to start off this testimony by asking a simple question. How did we get here? I need to follow this question, however, with asking more difficult questions like who turned their back when their colleague was committing such violations and didn't take action until the issue became public. Please understand, I believe that ethical leaders exist within this body. However, self-policing may not be the best suggestion, and certainly I don't believe that it's one that bodes well with the residents of the District of Columbia. I believe there's a need for our local elected officials to recapture public trust. Self-policing is not necessarily the answer. I believe lack of enforcement and oversight is, however, an issue. Who can we look to when violations actually occur? I support the creation of an independent ethics committee. I might add that we need to develop clear legislation as to the direction and structure of the bodies that are assigned to administer enforcement of these investigations. There's a culture of hopelessness and mistrust in our local government. I've walked through Ward 7 and talked to my neighbors, and many have thrown up their hands or even covered their faces in shame at actions of the past year of some of our elected officials. Damaged trust equates to damaged effectiveness and efficiency as a legislative body. As the council is trying to safeguard the quality of life of the citizens of the District of Columbia, its overall integrity and the ability to be believable is key. We have to go in with all eyes open and put all the issues on the table. I don't believe there should be a rush to judgment, however, for any of these decisions. The issue warrants continuous dialogue with the citizens being engaged as they are here today. There are some external entities that can be helpful in the decision making, and I believe that we should seek expertise to assist us to make some sound judgment. When the 10 pieces that are being addressed in this hearing, short-term and long-term implications are in the best interest of all residents of the District of Columbia. This could take time. This can't be best served in one or possibly even 2 hearings. However, I think this is a step in the right direction. I just would like to note a couple of technical points of consideration. I just have a couple of points. Constituent services. I believe constituent services dollars are a valuable resource to empower and assist residents in some very critical areas of need. However, I certainly believe in that the vagueness of the guidelines leaves it open to interpretation, and therein lies the problem in being able to effectively administer these funds. Legislative language, there should be a clear and specific repercussions. There's a sense in the city that consequences are not taken seriously, i.e. upon admission of guilt or having been found guilty, a public official should have to go through a process of expulsion or removal from their seat. The burden should rest on the individual who committed any fiduciary violations by paying fines or having discounted or pro bono fees should be fully disclosed with a cap for said services. And to close, this level of accountability will provide the opportunity for us to set the standard and be the example for what every resident will have to face in their place of employment. Resources should be allocated into support of creation of an independent council. This will engender trust between the council and the public it serves. A couple of added points I'll close with. I too think that we should take consideration for full-time employment. We should revet the public's pulse on term limits for our public officials, and to prevent vote buying, we should look at the activities of council members with companies that have contracts or relationships with the city government to discourage some of the contributions that could come thereof. Thank you very much.